Hey YouTube, I just wanted to share with you how I display my LEGO minifigures and some of the best ways I think to do that. So the first way you can display your LEGO minifigures is just by having a regular base plate. A lot of people have these already in their collection, so if they don't have a mock going or anything, they can just take their LEGO minifigures, line them up like this, and you kind of have all of them handy and on the go. All in one place. You can just pick it up, take it anywhere you want. Pretty nice. So not a bad way to display. But I found for myself that there's kind of issues with this. Sometimes you want to build a mock. Sometimes you want to just, maybe see all of your minifigs at once. And a base plate isn't always going to do that. So what I've done is I started to build these LEGO minifigure stands. So from the back, let's see if I can go ahead and grab that out. Yeah, so what I built is a LEGO minifigure stand. And the nice thing about this is you can kind of customize it and build it out of the bricks you already have in your collection. So you see this one, it's yellow, it's red, it's blue. I've got a lot of pieces here, and I can kind of just customize it the way I want it. I have this many figures, this is how big I want to make it. So this pretty much cost me nothing because, again, I had these bricks that I thought, hey, I'm kind of more of a Star Wars and obviously Lord of the Rings guy. So I'm not too interested in, these yellow, bright blue, bright red bricks in my collection, and I could still find some use for them. So I was able to build this stand just using a very simple method of, just staircase, steps. So here's it from the side. You can see kind of how I did it. I'm trying to minimize the number of bricks that I used. In the backs, throwing some supports, and that's how I did it. It's pretty easy to make, and again, pretty cheap if you already have the bricks in your collection. Another option is to actually buy Mega Blocks. I know a lot of LEGO people don't like buying Mega Blocks, but again, I already had these in my collection, and I built the same thing out of Mega Blocks. I know some people say Mega Blocks are worthless. It's fake LEGO, it's not real, but you can get a lot of use out of Mega Blocks by building minifigure stands. So you can see that's definitely not Lego brick, but yet these kind of vintage LEGO minifigures look pretty awesome on it all the same. Now, if you're kind of thinking, hey, sure, that looks okay, a lot of different colors, I'm not a fan, you are able to, make it again, it's customizable. For instance, I, wanted the single color gray, so I got some gray bricks, and I threw on some of my warriors from old cultures, so some of these CMFs, collectible minifigures. Thought they looked pretty good next to each other. Threw them on single color, as well as my Hobbit. I just went to Pick-a-Brick store and went ahead and bought a lot of these black 2x4s, and then kind of snapped them together the same way I did previously with my bricks that I already had, and I was able to make a nice looking display. I like the black. I think it contrasts the LEGO minifigures pretty well. So sorry if the lighting's not the best. I know it's probably not super easy to see everything, but I definitely like these methods. Continuing on, those are kind of two very popular methods that I think are easy and pretty cheap generally, so long as you aren't making your stands out of premium bricks. So outside of, maybe these plates and the base plates and the stands, there are a couple other methods, and I want to show you one of mine. So another way I display my LEGO minifigures, in fact, the main way I display them is using this LEGO custom minifigure display stand. So here you can see pretty much all of my LEGO Star Wars minifigures that I own. And that's pretty awesome that you can see them all at once in this grand kind of display. You can choose kind of what color you want, black, typical wooden, because they are custom. So a lot of people sell these online. The one I got was $90 and displays however many minifigs. I think it's around 160. So you can get a good number of minifigures in one display case. I can link the one I found down below. I would recommend it, highly recommend it. Not getting paid or anything to say that. Just, I'm a difficult person to please when it comes to Lego, and I was very impressed with the products I bought. So another great thing about these minifigure display stands, in addition to being able to maybe stop, or to be, in addition to being able to, display a lot of them, is you're also able to stop dust from getting on it. So the one I bought has this glass cover on it, or it's plexiglass actually. So what it does is, it blocks. You close it up, like so. Let's see if I can do that real quick. Take a sneak peek of my UCS Grievous. But there you go. Bring the display stand just like that, and now it's glass free. So nothing is getting on those boyos, as we in the Lego community like to call them. Another thing is your Lego clones, for instance, they're white, they could get yellowed, and this display stand I bought in particular says the glass cover, or I think it's polycarbon, blocks some of the UV light, so they shouldn't be discolored as easily. Not sure how that works. I haven't taken optics. Well, I guess I could guess how it works, but I'm not sure how effectively it actually does that, but I'm sure it does a little bit something. So, I forgot to mention, another key feature about having these covers on them is you can lock them up. Use a lock. Keep people out of your Lego minifigures. You don't want people running around. If they're on a base plate, people can just pick them up, snag them. If they're this, they're going to have to go through a whole opening it up, taking them out. So that means my Lego Django Fett is a little bit safer inside this display stand. So if I open it back up, we can see how exactly I do this. So one of the key features of these kind of display stands too, at least the one I bought, was you can really customize how you display your minifigures. So the way I have my Lego Star Wars minifigures organized is I have episode 1 on the top row, and it goes into episode 2, and then episode 3, a large collection of episode 3, and then the original trilogy, and then Clone Wars on the bottom. So you can really customize how you want to display your Lego minifigures, who goes with who. So, for instance, if I had this Captain Rex, I see I had him right next to Anakin Skywalker, but hey, I want to put him next to the rest of his clones. I can go ahead and do that pretty easily. Just swap him in, slide it over, and he's good to go. So if you do build or buy a display stand, I would recommend getting one where it has preset dimensions. So this one, for instance, fits a 4x4 base plate. You can just pop the minifigure on there and then slide it a lot easier. It's kind of nice. You can take them out. A lot less of a hassle than setting up each minifigure individually, and then when you want to move them around, you have to worry about them falling. Like with that Mandalorian, he's kind of tough to put up. So again, this is one of the better methods to display. Another thing I forgot to mention is you don't have to buy a big one like this. You can maybe buy, if you have a smaller collection, maybe 10 minifigures, or you could go ahead and buy a smaller display case that'll show off just those 10 figs. Like say I have maybe 10 Anakin Skywalkers. I want to put them all together nicely. But I don't want a big one like this. I can, find some kind of shop that has them. I know Brick Vault sells them. If you go on Etsy, you can find a lot of them. I got mine on eBay again, but there's no need to, if you don't have 200 minifigures, you definitely do not need to buy a big display stand like this. So just wanted to mention that before we move on. So the last way that I'm going to show you today on how to display your Lego minifigures is just using one of these Lego minifigure base plates on a wall. So a Lego wall is, if you will. So instead of buying, one of those display cases or building it, you just take one of the regular Lego base plates and plop it on the wall using some kind of adhesive, the same kind of adhesives you use to stick portrait or paintings, stuff like that, onto the wall, posters. And then what you do is you go ahead and purchase some of these bricks that have kind of the studs on the side as well as on the top. So you can just set it into the wall like this and set your Lego Yoda on top. And this is another great, easy, customizable way that really looks cool because it's got that Lego vibe to it. Another thing, this is actually my brother's display, but I built this Lego logo for him so he can go ahead and see, Lego Star Wars. So it looks pretty cool, kind of retro. He's obviously into more of the older Lego Star Wars minifigures, so I think that really brings that across, seeing that kind of logo. So you can definitely do that with a lot of these displays. Another thing about this is it's probably cheaper than building a display case or even the brick, even using bricks. If you go out and try to build those brick stands I showed you, this is probably cheaper than that as well, just to buy the base plates and then these little bricks. Again, these bricks, you can get them on Bricklink. Just find the Lego part that like this is, or if you're lucky, you can go to pick a brick in a Lego store and just get a big cup of these so you can plop them on. I would recommend having 2 of them for each one so you can have them a little safe distance from the wall and still be looking really awesome. So this kind of, again, is one of the grander displays that, if you walk into a room and you see a bunch of Lego minifigures like this, along with like maybe a Lego Star Wars logo you make, I think a lot of people are going to be impressed with your collection. I'll go ahead and cut to a side view so you can see them from the side, which I think looks equally cool. So here's the same Lego minifigure display stand from the side. I think it looks really awesome seeing these Utapau Troopers lined up like this. And it's Lego. So if you're more of a Lego person, you don't want to introduce fancy display cases or anything like that, you can go ahead and use this method. Of course, you're still going to get dust like some of the other methods, but your figures are really easy to access, really fun to get at them. And again, looks really cool, a fun Lego project to do if you have the time and are willing to spend the money to build these. I think these these base plates, these gray base plates, I got them my brother bought them at Walmart. I believe they costed maybe $10 max. So he bought like 3 of these. You buy the adhesives for around $5. And these bricks, again, pick a brick, I think costs maybe $13 for $17 max to get all the bricks. So this is going to be, $40 around to build a good sized Lego base plate thing. And then again, significantly less if you already have the bricks, the base plates, or the adhesive. So that's going to do it for the video. Thank you for watching all the different ways that I display my Lego minifigures. And comment down below if you want to see more videos from my channel on how I manage my Lego collection, what things I like. I'm a big Lord of the Rings and Star Wars fan. I also have a couple extra themes, of course, Indiana Jones. So basically, thanks for watching. Have a great day.